Hey everyone, welcome to Beyond the Gates. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Beyond the Gates, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I feel like my head might explode if I don't get this off my chest. So, here it is. I kissed Bill. I really kissed him, the kind of kiss that makes your stomach drop, your heart beat like it's trying to escape your ribcage, and your brain scream at you to stop while every single nerve in your body is telling you to keep going. And now I have to tell Pamela. Because she's the only one I can trust with this without judgment. The only one who might actually understand the mess I've made of my own life. It started last night when Andre was out of town. He had some business meeting that I knew was really just an excuse for me not to be in his presence for a couple of hours. And Bill was there. He didn't have to be, but somehow he always is when my life is on the verge of disaster. I should have stayed away. I really should have. But there was something in the way he looked at me, like he was waiting for permission, like he was ready to ignite a fire that I had no intention of lighting. And yet I did. We were standing on the balcony, the city lights flickering below us like a million tiny warnings. I could hear the faint hum of cars in the distance, the occasional shout from someone who had no idea how complicated life could be. Bill leaned in, close enough that I could feel the warmth radiating off him, close enough that I could smell that faint cologne he always wears, the one that reminds me of summer nights and reckless laughter. And then, I kissed him. The world blurred. His hands found mine, then my waist. I could barely breathe, but it didn't matter. All that mattered was that moment, the kind of moment that changes everything, that doesn't care about consequences, and doesn't care about Andre or Hayley or anyone else. It was just us. And then it ended as abruptly as it started. We pulled away, and reality crashed back into me like a tidal wave. I wanted to hate myself, but I couldn't. I wanted to feel guilt, but all I felt was a gnawing, aching desire that I've tried to suppress for months. I couldn't tell Andre. I couldn't tell Hayley. I had to tell Pamela. She's my best friend, my confidant, my safe harbor in a storm I've been careening through blindly. I texted her at 2:13 a.m. It was impulsive, I know, but I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stop replaying the kiss over and over in my mind. And when she finally called, I felt my hands shake as I held the phone. Pam. I kissed him. I blurted out, and the words sounded foreign, even coming from my own mouth. There was a pause on the other end, and I braced myself for judgment. But Pamela, she didn't judge. She sighed a long, understanding sigh and said, "Dani, tell me everything." So I did. I told her every detail. The way his lips felt, the hesitation before our first touch, the way my heart was screaming even as my mind begged me to stop. I told her about the rush, the guilt, the confusion. And the worst part? I think I still love him. I think I never stopped. Pamela listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't lecture. She just let me spill everything, like a dam finally breaking. And when I was done, when the last words left my lips, I could hear her thinking. "You're in trouble," she finally said, and I laughed nervously. "No kidding," I muttered, though the laughter sounded hollow. Because she was right. I am in trouble. Andre, he's waiting for me, expecting the kind of loyalty I might not be capable of giving anymore. And Bill, well, Bill is a storm I can't control, and I think I'm ready to let myself get swept away. The truth is, Andre and I's marriage was never normal. It was spontaneous, impulsive, a little drunk, a little reckless. And that's the problem. I thought I could commit to him in a wild, impulsive moment, thinking maybe love would follow. But it didn't. And now, looking back, I see it for what it really was, a desperate attempt to fill a hole that only Bill can fill. I don't want to hurt Andre. I don't want to destroy him. But every time I see Bill, every time he smiles that crooked, infuriating smile, every time he looks at me like I'm the only person in the world, I forget all the rules, all the promises, all the logic that tells me I should stay away. And then there's Hayley. She's hell-bent on confronting Bill about his feelings for me, and I don't blame her. I would be furious if the tables were turned. She's demanding, she's intense, she wants him to commit, to take accountability, but Bill, he can't. Not yet. Not until he figures out what he actually wants, and the truth is, it might be me. Meanwhile, Eva is in her own mess, asking Mona and Jan for help. And I watch all of this unfold, thinking about how messed up our lives are, how messy love and friendship and betrayal can be, and how every single person in Fairmont Crest is teetering on the edge of disaster. And me? I'm standing right in the middle of it. My heart split in two, my life tangled with two men, and my only confidant miles away on the other end of a phone call. Pamela reminds me that I have choices, that I can still do the right thing. But what is the right thing when your heart refuses to listen? By the time our call ended, dawn was breaking, painting the sky in pale pinks and golds. I sat on my bed, staring at the wall, replaying every detail of last night over and over. I kissed Bill. I told Pamela. And now, the hardest part was coming, figuring out what to do next. If you want, I can continue with part 2, which will dive into the confrontation with Andre, Hayley dragging Bill to accountability, Eva's surprising request for help, and Naomi and Jacob's tense conversation about their future, all written in the same raw, deeply personal narrative style. This will carry the story well past 10,000 characters. Andre found me that afternoon, sitting on the couch with a cup of coffee I didn't even want to drink. He came in smiling, that easygoing grin I used to adore, and my stomach twisted in knots. I wanted to smile back, wanted to pretend everything was fine, but the weight of last night's confession to Pamela pressed down on me like a brick. "Morning, babe," he said, leaning down to kiss my cheek. I flinched slightly, trying to hide it. He noticed. Of course he noticed. Andre always notices. "Hey," I mumbled, my voice hollow. "You okay?" "You seem off," he said, sitting beside me. His hand brushed mine, light as a whisper, and I nearly pulled away. But I didn't. I couldn't. I need to tell you something," I said, swallowing the lump in my throat. His eyebrows knit together, concern flashing across his face. And then I froze. How could I possibly tell him the truth? That I kissed Bill? That I'm still in love with him? That my marriage to Andre was never real? Instead, I said, "I've just been thinking about us." Which was both true and a lie. I had been thinking, yes, but not the kind of thinking he wanted to hear. Andre sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Dani, you're scaring me. I can feel you pulling away." And there it was. The truth. I'm pulling away. From him. From this marriage I rushed into like a storm, without realizing the destruction I was leaving behind. Meanwhile, across town, Bill was facing his own storm. Hayley, furious as ever, cornered him in the living room like a hawk ready to strike. I overheard parts of it when I called him later, trying to make sense of my own guilt. "You can't keep doing this, Bill." Hayley's voice was sharp, trembling with a mix of anger and desperation. "You can't keep hiding behind Dani, talking to her, thinking it's harmless. You need to decide, me or her." Bill's voice was low, frustrated, but there was a vulnerability beneath it that I hadn't heard before. "Hayley, it's not that simple. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I see you. I see what's happening right in front of me. You still love her," she shouted. And there it was. Confirmation of the thing I already knew. Bill's heart isn't fully mine, yet it isn't fully hers either. It's stuck somewhere between us, tangled in a mess we've all created together. Back in my apartment, Pamela had stopped by after my morning coffee, or rather after I called her and begged her to come over. She didn't say a word when she walked in. She just sat across from me, studying my face like she could read every thought, every secret I hadn't dared say aloud. "I told you," I said, my voice breaking. "I kissed him. And now everything is falling apart." Pamela reached across the table and grabbed my hand. Her grip was firm, grounding me. "Dani, this isn't just about the kiss. You've been ignoring your own feelings for months. You tried to shove them aside, tried to convince yourself Andre could fill the space Bill left, but You can't force your heart to do something it doesn't want to do. Her words hit harder than I expected. I had been running from my own emotions, trying to create a life that looked perfect on the outside, while inside I was a tornado of guilt, desire, and fear. I don't know what to do, I whispered. Then don't decide yet, she said. But you need to be honest. With yourself. With Andre. With Bill. Hiding isn't helping anyone. Meanwhile, Eva's situation had taken a turn I didn't see coming. She showed up at Mona and Jan's door like a storm on the horizon, looking desperate and nervous all at once. From what I overheard later, she asked them for help. Help that could only raise eyebrows. Mona and Jan didn't trust her, and honestly, who could blame them? But Eva, she has a way of making even the impossible seem urgent, compelling you to act when you shouldn't. She's in trouble, Mona muttered, eyes darting toward Jan. And she's dragging us into it, Jen added, frowning. Eva's voice trembled. Please, I don't have anyone else. I need you guys. And for once, Mona and Jan hesitated. Because helping Eva might mean risking a lot, but turning her away? That wasn't an option. Later, Naomi and Jacob had their conversation, the one that left me feeling unsettled even from a distance. Jacob was excited, almost glowing with the news of Naomi's pregnancy. But Naomi, she was quiet, hesitant, unsure. I don't know if I'm ready, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. I love you, but I'm not ready for a kid right now. Jacob's excitement faltered, replaced by concern. Naomi, I thought we were on the same page. We've talked about this before. I know, she said. I need time. I need to figure out who I am before I bring a child into this. It was a moment of raw honesty, one that made me reflect on my own mess of decisions. How many times have I rushed into something because I was scared of feeling alone? How many times have I let desire override reason? By the evening, I was a mess. My head was pounding, my stomach twisting in knots. I hadn't slept, I hadn't eaten, and yet I felt a strange sense of clarity. Pamela had forced me to face the truth. I can't keep pretending. I can't keep hiding from my own heart. So I called Bill. My hands shook as I dialed his number. I knew what I had to say, even if I didn't know what would come of it. Dani, he answered, his voice low, almost weary. Bill, I need to see you, I said, my voice trembling but firm.
Now. Yes. Please.
I can't do this over the phone anymore. And for the first time in months, I felt like maybe, just maybe, there was a path through this chaos. A path where honesty, messy and painful as it is, might finally lead me to where I'm supposed to be.